Brazen crime taking a huge toll on America's most progressive city. Whole Foods shutting down its flagship location in downtown San Francisco. This just 1 year after opening the store. That's out of concern for the safety of their workers. The store plagued by rampant drug use, thieves looting all the shopping baskets. Sadly, it comes as no shock. San Francisco spiraling out of control. Judge, I think that one of the things, we're talking generational today, it seems. One of the things that's changed is that the old social contract has been broken now. You would never see brazen thieves in previous years where it's shameless going in, 5, 10, 15 of them, roughing up innocent storekeepers, but stealing stuff in a way. I mean, there was always shoplifting and this and that, but the fact that they just reject the rules utterly of civilization.
I think the operative word was shame. And it's shameful. They have no shame. They have no dignity. They have no shame. They're not worried about it. There's a sense of entitlement. That work ethic that we had in a generation before, or whatever one you want to attribute to, is gone. I'm entitled, and you got to pay me. It's the life of Julia during the Obama years. The government comes in and takes care of you. But look, in terms of this particular segment, I've been saying for years that law enforcement determines the success of a particular area. If you've got crime running rampant, whether it's in the 90s when I was a DA, in the 2000s when I was a DA, then it is impossible for you to maintain a business or the value of your home. Forget about the safety of your children. And that's where we are right now. And most people were like-minded. Most people believe that we did, but everything is upside down. It's like this evil is spreading across the country. And it's like this, social justice, this woke warriors, The bottom line is people are being shot, stabbed, beaten, brutalized. Thieves are taking whatever they want, and nobody's doing anything about it. And that's why this store, the Whole Foods in San Francisco, is closing. If they were too stupid to figure that out and they opened a year ago, well, shame on them. And they even sold the baskets, by the way. They're stealing the baskets from the store. So all in all, what we've got is a society where there are no consequences. You can thank the Democrats for it. I don't care what anybody says. It's in the big Democrat cities. In San Francisco, they've got, open-air drug markets, and they fornicate and they defecate and they do everything in front of our kids. I'm sorry.
The difference is caught on tape also. Like the Bob Lee, the app guy.
Yep, stabbed.
He's dying. He's dead on his feet, and you watch him, and then you watch him finally ultimately collapse. I mean, my God, how can this be where we are at now?
The San Francisco voters don't care, Geraldo. They can control their own destiny. They vote for this garbage. Election after election after election.
Well, they did throw out the DA.
So what? They still have the stupid board of supervisors who wants to fund reparations instead of the police. And the media is broken, too. The media doesn't even ask Gavin Newsom.
Right.
The flagship Whole Foods store has shut down in San Francisco. Instead, they ask him about some city in Florida. I mean, what about Nancy? No one asks Nancy. Her own city's falling apart. And no one asks her about that. They ask about Trump. This city is disgusting. But the voters control this.
New York City?
No, we're talking about San Francisco. And now they can't have organic rhubarb. They cannot have fair trade coconuts. And that's what they wanted, and now they can't have it. I don't feel bad for them.
What they can have, Dana, is fentanyl. And I think that has changed, worsened, aggravated everything.
Well, Jesse brings up Newsom, and that's what I was going to say, that so he was the mayor there, and he's the governor now. And from a legal, I would even imagine, if you're the governor and you watch one of the jewels of America going into a death spiral, and you go to Mississippi to campaign for your Democratic governor?
Yeah, it's weird.
Or you sit in Florida and you clap your hands like this while your city is deteriorating. You have businesses like Whole Foods that say, we moved in here a year ago. Imagine what sort of incentives they were given by the city. Like, please come, we need you. And they decide, probably against their better judgment, they went ahead and did it, and now you have that business leaving. How many jobs does that take with them? And so now you'll have a continuation of the problem. But where is Gavin Newsom? Why isn't there a takeover of San Francisco? Why isn't that something that he
It
would
may come
consider?
to that. It may come to that.
Well, at what point? After all
How
the
bad.
businesses leave and all the taxpayers leave, and then you have this city that we all used to love that is now just a terrible place where all the Kates are happening.
Yep.
But in that regard, Greg, you have one of the worst aspects is you have the kids destroying the services. Their moms and dads now are the ones deprived. They're the ones who have to, exert extra time and energy and money to do the necessaries. I look at Minneapolis. I mean, it's just once, or Baltimore. We covered Freddie Gray in 2015. The cities are losing their essence, and we're watching it happen.
There's a big difference with San Francisco because Whole Foods isn't in a bad neighborhood. It's on Market Street. That's their main street. The Cash App guy, what was his Bob
Lee.
Bob Lee. That was that was Pelosi's district. And remember, her own husband was stabbed or beaten in her house. I mean, she knows crime. She knows this intimately, right? And it's as though it doesn't resonate. But this is not like Chicago where all the crime is concentrated in one area and it's gangs. It's all over San Francisco.
So why is Nancy Pelosi not saying something?
I have no idea. All I know is it's the fault of the city's politicians. I think it's the fault of the media who look at this kind of crime as a local issue. Somebody's watching this right now. It's like, what do I care about San Francisco? Why do I care about that? And so, but you know what is a national story? The reparations story or trans. But crime isn't, like, if you talk, other producers at other networks have said as much, that crime is a local story. So you don't hear about it, and suddenly it explodes when we were talking about it for years, and nobody else talked about it. Then there are the insurance companies that are basically telling you just stay out of it, just let these people rip you off. So I think the solution is almost what you said, Geraldo, in the previous thing. You got to let these cities die so they can be reborn. Because right now, the lunatics running the asylum haven't exhausted their lunacy. And the people, the elites, they're fortressed. They're fortress.
Just briefly, London Breeze says the problem they can't find cops. They can't get cops. Without cops, you have no thin blue line.
She defunded them. $120 million she cut, and they're being trashed. Anyway.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.